I'm assuming you can't hear me yet. If you can, maybe just shoot me an email, or if in the chat you can. Maybe try logging off and logging on. Logging back on. Connect audio.
Be the host.
Hi, is this Isaac?
Hi, is this Hannah?
Yes, yes. It
Good
looks.
morning. How
Good
are you?
morning. Is your Zoom being a little?
Okay. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Isaac Tellez. I am a supervisor with the City of Rochester's 311 call center, and I'm here to give you a little information about 311 and what we do for the city. And I will present a slideshow, and you can stop me anytime you want if you have any questions. I will also introduce Ms. Melinda Gonzalez, who's also a supervisor, who's going to be assisting me in the middle of the presentation. Well, so if I go too fast, or if there's something that you need to clarify, you stop me anytime, okay? So I will start by saying that I have been with the City of Rochester for 30 plus years, and we have I have a lot of experience working in this type of work. The 311 call center is the first line of communication for the City of Rochester. So our purpose is to make it easier for people that call the city to have an easy number to remember whenever there's a need for our services. I will go through the services as we go through the slideshow. And like I said, if you have any questions, please feel free to stop me, okay? So I will give you a little history of 311, how we became 311. And I can tell you that in 1997, the FCC established this number only dedicated for non-emergency calls. The purpose of that was that a lot of people were calling 911 for non-emergency calls, so 911 was inundated with so many calls that were not necessary, and they were taking away all the more important emergencies from that service. So at that point, the FCC came up with the idea of establishing this number for services that were not emergency. Okay. Our mission is to establish a one call to City Hall, is to have and facilitate communications between the city and its citizens and the government to have information available, or if it's a service call, to provide that easy access to our residents so that there's no confusion, or even if somebody calls here and if it's deemed an emergency, we can definitely make that connection with 911. So that facilitates that call, so there's no, confusion. Somebody might say, well, I'm not sure this is an emergency call or not. We can definitely, from here, we can break it down and say, yes, we can make that communication accessible to you and transfer you to a 911 operator, if that's the case, okay? February 28, 2008, the City of Rochester implemented the new 311 call center. So our call center was established in 2008. We're located at 945 Mount Read Boulevard, which is also the operations center. We are housing the operations center of the city of Rochester. Well, there's a difference when to call 911, which is mostly for emergency calls, emergency situations. Anything that requires immediate assistance, whether it's police, fire, or ambulance services. If you are ever in doubt whether the situation is an emergency, you can call 911. There's no problem if you do that, and let them determine if this is a 911 call emergency or not. Sometimes, just to be safe, is nothing wrong with calling 911. Okay. There are some examples of when to call 911. You know, if you're feeling like you're having a heart attack or stroke, a house fire, it's big violence. I'm sorry. Somebody has a question? Okay. Any kind of burglary or theft in progress, motor vehicle accidents, suspicious activities, any kind of loose, aggressive animal. We get a lot of those calls as well here, and those are transferred to 911. Anything that seems like an emergency, okay, that would be a 911 call. Now, when to call 311? We have a public safety sector within 311. We have our service sector, and we have the public safety sector, which is part of the police department. And what they do there, those are people that work for the police department but are part of 311. They are called PSAs, public safety officers.
Public safety aides.
Public safety aides, I'm sorry. They take calls for like the drug hotline. If somebody wants to call and report a drug activity on a house, they will take the information. They will follow up with the investigation. They also will take minor crime reports. You know, somebody stole something from my vehicle. Somebody, really give me a hard time. Those kinds of things that are not emergencies. Parking violation calls. Somebody's illegally parked somewhere, they're blocking my driveway. Those kinds of things as well. In general, public safety information. We can also take smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detector requests. So if somebody wants to have carbon monoxide detector or smoke detector installed in their property, we can facilitate that for them. We can make a request for the fire department to come in and install one for you. Okay. Also, information related to government services requests. That is the other sector of 311, which is where we are at right now. Our department here takes a lot of the service calls, such as potholes, snow plowing, street lighting issues, garbage collection, graffiti removal, water billing, water services, parking meter issues, parking violations, and city information in general. You know, sometimes we have city activities going on at the different city parks, concerts, and things like that. So we will have that information available if you call 311. So the 311 call center is open 7 days a week. We open from 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and during the week. On the weekends, we open from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays. When people call after 9 p.m., callers will get a recording prompting them to press 1 if they have a police emergency, or press 2 if they have other kind of request, and that goes to our water dispatch, who is on duty 24/7. We are only closed through the 3 days a year, 3 holidays, which is Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. We have about 20 staff members, including administration and part-time personnel. We have also bilingual personnel. Who can call 311? Anyone within the city of Rochester, within the city limits, you just dial 311. It's a free call with a landline, telephone line, cell phone. It works on most cell phones. Some cell phone providers might charge. Now, if you're out of the city of Rochester limits, 311 will not work. But if you call 585-428-5990, that will get to us. That will also call 311. Okay, that's our outside phone number. At this point, I'm going to let Ms. Gonzalez take over from here. Okay, she's one of our supervisors, and she will continue the slideshow. Okay. Any questions you can always ask. Okay. But I'll be back at the end. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Melinda. I'm one of the supervisors at 311. So 311 at your service would be snow services. So if you live in the city of Rochester, and you want your street plowed because of snow being piled up, cars have moved, you can call us and we can enter a request to notify that department that you're requesting a snow plow. Leaf collection, that happens in the month of November. So each section of the city, there's like 4 quadrants in the city that they work on. You will be scheduled a week of when they'll go out there and service your leaves for you. After that day has passed, we advise people to bag them and then put them out on their normal collection day. For the leaf collection, we try to, service the leaves, collect them, so we can create so we can create compost for city residents, so people can pick up dirt in the summertime. Residential refuse. We pick it up every week, so if you have an issue with your garbage, you can also call 311 and say, they never picked up my trash. When is my day of trash? When is my recycle week? Commercial refuse, we can always send you over to them. We don't take their calls because they don't get services like a residential person or house should. That is included in your taxes, where commercial is you pay outside of your taxes. So anything that's considered a commercial would be if you have a storefront and then there's apartments at the top, or just a store, any type of business, an apartment complex, a house that has 4 apartments in it or more, that would be considered as a commercial property. Single streaming recycling, we offer the 90-gallon containers like your refuse. That's picked up every other week on the same day as your refuse pickup. Things that aren't recyclable that a lot of people think they is styrofoam, plastic bags, plastic bubble wraps. Those are not recyclable, and that cannot be thrown in your recycling can. Disposal of electronic items can be taken to Echo Park, so the city does not pick up computers or TVs. They all have to be recycled, and that would be through the county. We also provide that number as well once they call here and ask those type of questions. Bulk refuse is picked up on a regular refuse day. There's no special week or a special day that they just come out and pick up bulk refuse. Bulk refuse is when you're throwing furniture out, multiple bags that are 5 or more, mattresses, stuff like that. On-demand refuse service is available for a fee as well. So let's say that you're moving out and today's Wednesday and Monday is your collection day, but you need to get rid of this as soon as possible. They will service it, but for a fee. Will 311 operators be able to respond in other languages? If someone calls 311 who speaks a language that 311 staff cannot speak, a third-party translation service will join the call. So we'll put the person on hold, ask them what type of language they speak, and then we'll contact the language line and request for someone who speaks that language, and they will assist us with that call. However, we do have bilingual agents here who speak Spanish. 311 call center stats. So in the year of 2021, we took 341,593 calls, and 88% of them were answered. We answered within 30 seconds, it was 60%, and our abandon rate was 13%. So abandon rate is people hang up before even getting to one of the service reps. Our average speed of answer is 65 seconds, and our average talk time is 1 minute and 54 seconds. You can see our chart there. That's our call volume for 2021. You can see how many calls we received and how many calls were answered. In January of last year, we received 41,688, and we answered 37,347 calls. In July, we received 30,627 calls, and we answered 24,000 of them. Any questions? I'm going to pass it along to Isaac.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
If anyone has any questions, we can definitely welcome them. I hope that this has been an eye-opener for some people, and hopefully that you can, now that you know what we provide, you can make it easier for you to call and at least know that you can get a response from us.
This is a great service. I mean, I kind of wish it existed outside the city limits because I don't live in the city, but
Yeah.
that other number is also helpful to those people.
Yeah. You never know. We might be in the future expanding, and who knows, right?
Monroe County.
Yes. And just so you know, 311 doesn't just exist in the city of Rochester. We have many cities that use the number. It's only dedicated city use only. Nobody else can use this number. So if you go to Boston, you have 311. You go to Los Angeles, you have 311. So we have some of us have visited some of those call centers, and we have taken some ideas from them, and they have already taken some ideas from us. So we can exchange a lot of different ideas. So in order for us to do that, we have a knowledge-based coordinator who continues to upgrade the system and how to better the communications. We use like about 3 to 4 different systems to make all the requests that we need to make. We're in communications with 311, with 911, so we use their CAD system to enter different jobs, like animals that are loose, illegal parked cars, and things like that. So it's very dynamic. Sometimes it's very complicated, but we have to adjust to the times, and that's why, we are constant training here.
Okay. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions from any classrooms? Any students have anything they want to ask? Maybe not, but tomorrow we're getting a big snowstorm. So don't call
Yep,
311. We'll probably
yes, we
be
can.
overwhelmed.
Yep, you will hear on the news what, basically what the city's doing, and if you have any more questions, you can definitely call us as well.
Yeah.
So you'll be on hold for a while, so.
Yeah, yep, we might go hold for a while.
Understandable.
But that's okay. Yep, okay.
Oh. Well, okay, I'm watching the chat. Nobody else has said anything. We're unmuted. So I'm gonna assume, unless you want to speak now, classrooms and other people, that we're all good. Oh. Rebecca Sanner asks, is snow removal free?
Oh, yeah, well, that's a service provided to our residents regardless, yes. That does no, I mean, there's no charge. There are some charges that are added to tax, and they're already included with taxes, such as like snow removal, like sidewalk plowing. That is a small fee, but that's already included with your taxes. So like any other towns that remove snow from the sidewalk. However, the street plowing, it's automatic. That has to be accessible for everyone.
You were talking about street plowing, Rebecca? Oh, driveway.
Oh,
No.
yeah, that's one thing we don't provide. We don't provide plowing for driveways. We only provide for public right-of-ways, which are the sidewalks, the sidewalks are only plowed when there's accumulation of 4 inches and it continues to snow like a snowstorm. The initial plowing is done by the city. However, the responsibility lays on the homeowner or the first floor tenant. They will need to do most of their sidewalk plowing.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, we don't plow driveways.
Somebody else asks, do we call 311 to get RTS bus stops cleared of snow?
RTS is responsible to do their own. You can call RTS. That is kind of one of the things that the city, in conjunction with RTS, in order for them to be able to operate, they need to also agree that they will have facilitations for their customers as well.
Just to tell all the classrooms, I actually have RTS coming next Wednesday to talk. So we'll definitely be able to get that question answered, but since it's snowing, going to be snowing a lot more potentially the next couple of days, I can give them a call and see what needs to happen. So
definitely. Yeah, they are responsible to clean up their shelters, which they do, but it comes down to like the bus stops where they are people waiting. That is not a responsibility of the city.
the same person that asked that question said RTS said to call 311 to get cleaned up.
Yeah, they are under that impression, but it was one of those things that we go back and forth with them, and some people may not understand that they are unfortunately they are responsible for it. There's quite a few that they have around, so the city has no resources to go around and do those.
Yeah, that seems like a lot.
Yeah,
I will ask.
It's putting that a lot.
I will ask to talk to the manager, whoever the big boss, so we know. Because it could have just been somebody that I don't know who it was that answered, but maybe they were. They didn't know for sure, but.
Right.
I'm writing that down to do right now, so I'll take care of it.
Yep. Yeah, those are the kind of situations we encounter a lot where there's different entities trying to figure out who provides what,
Yeah.
So that's what we.
All right, I will call and we'll see how that turns out.
Sounds good, Anna.
All right. Well, again, if you guys need anything, non-emergency, 311 is your best call. So,
Thank you.
see y'all.